Okay. Um, um, Today I want to talk about how your body was when you were a kid and how your system was working when you were a kid compared to now that you're an adult, and how normally it changes, and it changes to kind of an autopilot mode, and how you can reverse it and get it back to default. It's very important to know that as a kid you had much more flexibility. You could cry, you could laugh, uh, you could shake, you could feel fear, you could feel love, you could feel relaxation. You could relax in any way that you wanted, and you were not afraid of being judged. That's the first thing you need to keep in mind. Just imagine when you were a kid, how free you were. You could do anything you want. And as we get older and older, society and many other things play a role. You become more stiff, and you put yourself in a box, literally, and you become tense. You lose the flexibility, unfortunately. And that's the base of a lot of the health issues that we have, because your body and your system has a way to deal with stress, has a way to deal with pain, it has a way to deal with it has a wisdom to deal with these things. And if you give yourself space to just let your system does it work, I think you will not have a lot of the health issues that you have, especially the chronic ones. So um, with that in mind, you want to do the tapping, because tapping is um, it's a very simple practice. And what I love about these practices, I love simple things. I like simple life. I love things simple. I really love to make things simple and not make them complicated, because there's no need. If something works perfectly for you, why do you want to make it complicated? So tapping and your body's natural way of releasing tension. When you tap, your system, including your nervous system, starts to shift from tension to relaxation. And what else that happen is that it goes to the natural way of releasing tension. You might feel shaking. That's a very common one. Shaking, I thought shaking is, when you learn to be an adult, you label feelings and you label your system's natural way of dealing with stuff as whatever. Shaking, it's weak. For example, if somebody's shaking in front of you, you think like, oh, they're weak. But it's not being weak. It's like your system trying to release the tension that was built and stored there. Shaking is one. You might cry. You might tense. Different parts of your body might tense and relax. For example, if you feel tension in your stomach, you might, when you're doing the tapping, you might feel tension in your stomach and relax. tension and relax, tension and relax, or your legs or your anywhere. But I want you to be aware that this is what is happening is normal, and you don't need to be scared because that's very important. It's a new sensation for you. You didn't have it before, but it doesn't mean that it is dangerous. It means it's new. It means you didn't have this experience, and it might really, really, really help you with the issues that you're experiencing. So shaking, crying, and tensing, not too much tense. Be careful, do not tense, especially the around neck and like the areas that are more related to your breathing, because breath is life. You don't want to tense too much. I want you to be aware of, like, if the tension is getting too much, you can release it. You can release it. That's one way in your control. But what I want you to do is to trust your body, trust your system. It's doing the job. Your job is to do the tapping in the right way, and your system naturally will release the tension by shaking, crying, maybe tensing and relaxing. And the only thing that you need to keep in mind is that this is natural. This is the natural way of healing yourself by not resisting. Because if you resist, you think in your mind, if you use too much of your mind in this kind of processes, it doesn't let your system work naturally. Because in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm crying, I don't want to cry. Oh, I'm shaking, I don't want to shake. Oh, I'm tensing, it's so much pain. I don't know what happens to me. I want you to not judge yourself, not judge your natural way of releasing tension, and not be scared of something new that you're experiencing, because you had these feelings. You were shaking, you were crying, you could do whatever when you were a kid. Now you're grown, and this resistance, this judgment has also grown with you. And in order to release that tension that you built, you need to also mentally be relaxed. Do not judge yourself, do not be scared. This is normal, this is natural. This is much better than taking a pill. I guarantee you this is much better than taking a pill. A pill might or might not help you, but the side effects is serious. If you take pills all the time for your headache, take pills all the time for your, I don't know, small pain in your back, take pills all the time for your stress and for any other things that if you urgently do not need it, you're taking pills. I want you to be aware that you're being a good customer to to a big industry. So when you need pill, you go and take pill. When you don't need urgent, very urgent, you go to the natural ways. It is more sustainable, and I promise you, it's maybe slower, and it's much more healthier because you don't have side effect. Whatever you feel, whatever, however you heal yourself is coming from inside. There's a power inside you. There's a power inside your system, your body, your mind, energy, and every other dimension that you agree or not, at least you have a body, you have a mind. Those two can heal you if you learn to untie the ties that you made in your mind, the judgments, the fear, and the limited ideas that you have about how you can heal and how you can live. And of course, you need a safe environment to do these practices and to let your system release tension. You cannot do it in the street. It's weird. People will judge you. It's not comfortable. You do it at home when you're relaxed. At the beginning, when there's no one, create a safe space for yourself, and you do the practices, and you see the difference.